Hello, and welcome back to A for Space. And it has been a while since my last video, but I'd like to wish you all a happy new year. I'll be starting this year with our home planet, where we are staying, Earth. In this video, I will be talking about Earth's childhood days. And just a warning, Earth was not looking like this back then. So, Earth is the only planet we know of to have life, and it had it for an extremely long time, about 4 billion years, but it hasn't always been the case. We have named the different periods of Earth's history, which are called eons. The first of these is the Hadean eon. And to sum it up, you don't want to be there. And this was the time when Earth didn't have life, because if there was life, they'd have quite a rough time. And I mean a really rough time. Earth wasn't really happy then. The Hadean eon lasted from Earth's formation, which was 4.6 billion years ago, to around 4 billion years ago. Now, Hades is the Greek god of the underworld, and this eon is appropriately named because Earth was not the water world like it is now. See, back then, Earth was a lava world. Just think of all this water as lava. That would not be good. In fact, Earth didn't actually form with that much water, or oxygen, or nitrogen, mostly because it was really close to the sun, which is really warm. Now, Earth was mostly made of iron, nickel, and silicates, the things that survived there. And Earth was formed a little bit warm for life, a little bit warm, due to molten rock. It was so molten that the convection currents, which basically pulled stuff from the core to the crust and the other way around as well, carried all the heavier elements like iron, nickel, all the way down to the core. All the lighter elements like the silicates just floated to the top and entered the mantle and the crust. And if you think this is the end, you'll be mistaken, because Earth was about to have a big encounter. See, Earth was not alone in its orbit, and it wasn't any small asteroid that was in its orbit like nowadays. It was a protoplanet the size of Mars. And these two got a little bit too close and collided. And if you want me to summarize this collision, if you want me to do a comparison, the Chicxulub asteroid impact that wipes out all the dinosaurs, think of that as a firework. And think of this event, this collision, as the atomic bomb. That's the comparison. Now, Earth was just completely melted and partially vaporized as well, and parts of Earth was just blown off, and the other objects as well were just blown away into space. And some of it stayed around in orbit around Earth and clumped up together, forming moonlets, which eventually came together to form the moon. And these two have just stayed together since. Now, this was not the end of the chaos, because In the outer solar system, orbits were just beginning to be thrown around. Now you may think that events in the outer solar system would not affect Earth at all, but the entire solar system is quite linked with one another. So, I'm going to tell you about this now. Around 4.1 billion years ago, the gas giants moved around. Jupiter and Saturn entered a 2-1 orbital resonance, where Jupiter went around the Sun twice for every time Saturn went around once, which increased the eccentricities of the planet's orbits. This pushed the ice giants, Uranus and Neptune, further away from the Sun into a disk of icy objects known as the trans-Neptunian belt. Now, if you drop 2 ice giants, each with over a dozen times the mass of this guy, Earth, into a belt of small icy objects, there is bound to be an effect on those small icy objects. And the small objects can't do anything. They're just too small. So all these asteroids and comets were scattered. They were just scattered everywhere. And basically lots of them, some of them went to the Kuiper belt. Some of them got thrown out further away from the Sun into the Oort cloud. But some of them decided to come to the Sun. I guess they were following the light. Now some of them stopped and realized that they were getting a bit too close, but some of them carried on and entered the inner solar system, which contains Earth. Now tens of thousands of asteroids and comets slammed into Earth. So basically it was chaos again. And it was so destructive that Earth was a lava world again. It became molten. Twice. Now after all these events, you may think that Earth suffered a lot from this. But without these events, Earth never would have developed life. The asteroids and comets from the outer solar system transported all the water, loads of water to Earth. Now, it is really strange that it could have done this, and I want you to think about how all the destruction caused the creation of life. That is the end of my video today, and stay tuned for Earth Part 2. Thanks for watching.